I can't get with you, dude. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't get with being grateful for crumbs.
And that's why I think it's about word choice, right? So that's why I'm saying I can kind of get where the young brother's coming from because I believe that he's on the right side of the struggle. He just isn't seeing it quite the same way I see it. So I can still work with a cat like that. You see what I'm saying? I just don't agree with everything that he's saying. So certain words trigger. So when you use the word appreciate, you say the word grateful, right?
Yeah.
Those are triggering words. Okay. Um, I did a video a long time. I don't even remember where I got the thing now, but it's like you're trapped in a room. So we're gonna go with a slavery piece first. You're trapped in a room. There's no way out. One door in, right, and you can't get out of that. And every day, someone walks in the room and they beat you with a stick. They just beat the shit out of you, leave you cowered in the corner, and then they walk back out, close the door behind them. And then one day they come back in the room. You're expecting another beating because they do this every day. And they say, you know what, Marlon? I'm sorry. I shouldn't be beating you with a stick. You didn't do anything to me for me to be doing this to you. You are a human being and you deserve better. And then they slap the shit out of you, punch you in your jaw, and walk out the room. And that becomes your daily treatment. Then, a little later, they come back, give you the same similar kind of speech, same similar kind of half-ass apology. Because you notice they still didn't let your ass out this room yet. And now they just shove you against the wall. They just mush you, just throw you wall to wall, wall to wall. They're not slapping you, they're not punching you, they just pushing you wall to wall. Walk out the door and close it. Now, it is a case that could be made. At least he ain't beat me with a stick no more. There's a case that could be made. At least he's not slapping and punching me. That's how that young man's explanation falls on the ears of someone who's more intimately tied to our struggle. You are still not free. You still can't get your ass out the room and you're still being abused. But you want to tell me to appreciate at least I'm not getting beat with the stick. See, this is the problem where people are coming from different sides. But while I said I could still get with this cat, I could still talk to him because what he's talking about, what he's trying to get to, is the other side of the discussion.
He's coming in good faith. He's coming in good faith. I can tell you that much. If he was coming with a whole bunch of stuff, and we've been doing this show for a long time, we can smell BS from a mile away. This guy is not BSing us. He's just...
He has a different point of view.
He has a different point of view, and to be fair, I just don't think he sees the whole picture. I think he's not seeing past, present, and future. He's seeing the present.
But here's the thing, though. This is the beauty of it. This is why it's so important for us, especially those of us who believe that we are trying to work with our people to continue to move the ball forward, right? To continue to compete and be in a better position, is to recognize that we aren't all going to come from the same place. We aren't going to have the same perspectives, right? I was probably a lot more like him 20 years ago. So now a case could be made that I have much more tunnel vision. I'm much more in a fight or flight situation, right? While some of y'all out here trying to do kumbaya and make friends with everybody across the color spectrum, I'm like, I make friends with those who make sense to make friends with. I'm not looking for friends, right? I appreciate when I make friends, but I ain't going looking for them because I'm in a bunker mentality. I'm looking at how do I build a business that helps to help educate my children, because what I see coming is that they're going to make it more and more oppressive to be a minority in a public school system. I'm trying to figure out how do I help educate our children so that they actually get a taste of their history, a taste of community, a taste of identity that is not being reshaped by people who don't want you to know any aspect of history. I'm trying to work with middle class and working class Black families so that we can shore up and have systems of friendships and collaboration so that when we start getting laid off because there's no longer the same level of implied protections, what the Supreme Court just kind of broke up with affirmative action. So when they start cutting jobs or they're not hiring the same way, how do you make sure you eat? How do you, make sure the rent gets paid? How do you do? See, this is where community has to come in, right? So I'm working over there. That's why y'all don't see me making videos anymore, right? Because I'm trying to work over there. I'm in the real world now, right? Because what I have been saying is coming freaking here. Okay. So public school education has been failing the American population, white, Black, and other, whatever. But it was the best opportunity our community had to be able to get closer to the education we needed to move more of us into the middle class world than many of us inhabit. And they're taking that away from you. They're criminalizing your very nature. They're criminalizing you being Black. They're criminalizing you being LGBTQIA. They're criminalizing any and everything they can except for being white and male. So when you see these things coming, it's hard for someone like me to dial it back, right? I don't know how. I don't even want to dial it back anymore.
No.
My goal now is just not to become so radical that I become a problem.
I don't have a problem being a good problem.
Now I got a family to take care of. See, it's kind of like, I get it. See, like I'm only a hair trigger away from.
Let me read this message real quick though, because this is a new person right here, and I think it's Chauvron, I believe, and welcome. And almost every generation of Black folks have had their own hell. It was slavery, then Jim Crow, then the attack on the civil rights movement leaders, war on drugs, mass incarceration, etc., etc. Now we are in a right-wing Black backlash, rolling back the little rights that we did have.
Well said. And that happens every time. After every bout of Black advancement, you have a white backlash. Every single time. And this is something this young brother that was doing a video needs to get a hold of. Everything that you say that we got, it wasn't because they gave it to us. They were all concessions. And it was all paid in blood. Everything, hear me, Black folk, hear me, white folk, hear me, anybody who's hearing my voice. The struggle and the accomplishments that we have were all paid in blood. They were all done by the masses for your individual opportunities to exist.